Hi Scorpios, hi, this is Marta with Universal Power Tarot, and these messages we bring you today are supposed to encourage, elevate, and empower you guys. Hi Scorpsies and others, it's so good to see you today. Thank you for tuning in. I was already receiving, here we go, something for you, and it's probably going to be the title of the reading, and it says to higher octaves. And I received like an octagon with it too. So there's something vibrational in terms of voice, in terms of singing, in terms of chanting, but also, you know, just from above, because I see the frequency coming, trickling down, you know, and I know I'm jumping right in. And those energies, I feel like, that we're hit with currently can be tricky to navigate. And I just want to ask today what you are working on currently. Who is involved in this? That popped into my head this morning. Who's involved in this? A higher view over things, what the purpose of all of this is. And we'll see how far we get on the YouTube portion, because Patreon, we're going to take it over there too, additionally, where we'll find out more what can be helpful to you in this situation, okay? And the higher view of things, more advice from Spirit. All right, so let's dive right in, my dear Scorpios, and see what you're currently working on. And the sage is still going. It's very interesting. It was so much smoke that came out of that bit of sage here, and it's still going. So it has been going for like 5 minutes. At first it felt super good, like a really nice cleanse, but now it's kind of like obstructing my airways a little bit. Let me open this a little bit so it can, you know, go out. Some of you need to air out your houses, your apartments. Please remember that if you use sage, it's like a bleach. So it cleanses out positive and negative, whatever it is, energies. And you have to be mindful that you use something like agua florida afterwards, or like put a vibration over it, either singing bowl, clapping, music, something like that, to set the tone for your house. And it's still going. So please let us know what spiritually connected Scorpios are currently working on. You have the Knight of Pentacles. You are planting seeds, and have been planting seeds for a while now. This is almost, or has become, a card to me of almost walking away from something to leave it for future generations. So what you currently seem to be working on is you're planting seeds. Now I have to close it. It's getting too loud. You're planting seeds here, and you may not be able to see, you know, the beginning of the planting anymore. So those plants, those seeds that you planted in the beginning, those will grow into plants, and you may not see those plants anymore. Of course, you've become more skilled as you went along with your planting and with how you're taking care of those crops or not take care of those crops. Because it's interesting to me, it also denotes to Scorpio, your presence leaves seeds. So it doesn't necessarily have to be real seeds. They can be just you. You left imprints on people like long ago. That could be your family line. I'm now getting, you know, very early childhood within your original family, just like leaving your imprint here, and then keep walking. You kept walking along this, and this again, I'm getting the sense of this was a long time ago when you were unaware, maybe, that you were even planting seeds in those people. Now you may do so much more intentionally, or much more aware anyways. Your presence may be sparking something within people. And Scorpio, your energy is denoting to life and death energy. So it's like you seem to be in constant circles of death and rebirth, death and rebirth. That is kind of like what you're working on this lifetime in general. So you becoming more aware of how finely tuned you are and what you can perceive in people, that may be something you're currently working on. But I also feel you've become somewhere along this journey, you become quite aware of this, how much of an impact you have. And you may have also learned to take things less personally, because sometimes, you know, your impact can trigger something in people. And then what? You know, then you may take this personally as something that, that is because of you. People don't like you because of the trigger factor that you come with. but it really is not to be taken personally. And I think you're stepping into this more and more of being very aware that that's what's going on. So someone with a really high vibration would trigger very low vibrational people, really repel them because it just doesn't go together. It's like magnets, two magnets, to south or to north, they would be like this, right? But it also means two sides of the same coin. You're attracting your soul tribe towards you. However, I feel like Scorpio oh, okay, cool. Because I do see, remember when I said to you earlier, who are you doing this with, or who is involved here? Because I see you looking over in this card, like to this other person that is doing the same thing or has been doing the same thing. I feel like you've walked alone for quite some time here, and that does not mean that you were without people around you, but even with people, it can feel utterly lonely sometimes because you have no one to connect to relate to. So that comes up here too. But again, I see you very well put together in this card and very okay with who you have become, who you've grown into, and with the triggering effect that you have on some people, and also with spending time with yourself. And that is wonderful, Scorpio, because this is where it's at, I feel like. Because when you found that within yourself, any relationship that you're going to enter, you're not going to want or expect from that person because you give all of that to yourself. So that is an amazing thing here. This one, yes. Oh, very interesting. This one, sure, yes. No, none of these, yeah. So the next card out, because I see you looking over to someone who I had the vision of them doing the same thing as you, planting seeds. Excuse me. And they have the Ten of Swords. So this is a very mental thing here, very mentally occupied, but also someone that comes from a background that was not necessarily easy. Their path hasn't been easy. I feel like this could be a counterpart here. You must have already spotted them. I'm not sure if they have already spotted you. Depending on where you are in your journey, obviously. This is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading. And they have become too, just like you, aware of their patterns. So there's quite a bit of shadow work involved on both sides here, which is amazing. And now they've made their thoughts their friends. They're no longer as pestering, I want to say here, which is amazing, right? This is a really good thing. So this is taking me to something else though, because I feel like they're going together. This is very, very interesting. It's going a little bit different than the ones that I've been doing for the past months, I think. Which card, please? Yes. Ooh. Okay. Whoops. We're using the Universal Power Oracle here. Let's see if I can hold them. Sometimes I can, other days I can't. Here we go. Let me see what, because you two seem to be having something in common here, Scorpio. This one, yeah. Oh, I love this. The major factor here that you seem to be having in common here is one with nature, which is so beautiful because I noticed you, this is the card number 6, I noticed you being barefoot and walking on the earth and planting seeds, whether you do so actually, but that does not take away from the fact that we already spoke about your past and leaving your imprint on people. And she too is walking barefoot and leaving her imprint here on Mother Earth, and very connected. So that seems to be the major connector here when you two come together. And again, this does not have to be like a romantic union. This can just be you two coming together. And that card even has a 3. So there's a third energy all of a sudden that is being created as your two life paths intersect and meet. Wow. And then there's happiness, because on neither end flowers have sparked yet. On neither end, because actually this is still quite barren land. She has the desert, and I mean, don't take it, it's not gender specific, and he has, you know, the green grass, but there are no crops on it. So on neither of your lives, I feel, what you have been sowing has been coming into manifestation yet. So you may both be still waiting on something to be occurring. And the one with nature is completely blossoming, right? It's completely there. Camera has a hard time picking up on it with the reflections, but you know, it could not be more abundant here, I want to say, okay? So that is very cool. So the moment you meet, I want to say, is when all of a sudden, you know how when it rains in the desert, all of a sudden, like a day or two later, everything blossoms and comes out at the same time. That's kind of like the energy I'm feeling with you two here. And I know I said one thing in the beginning, like what you're working on and what, you know, where this is evolving into. So I'm assuming we're taking large parts of this reading over to Patreon if you're then interested. But it turned out a little bit different than I had thought it would. But this is amazing. So you two coming together and then something's blossoming out of it fairly quickly, like really, really quickly. But and to the outside, it may seem like, whoa, what's happening type of a situation. But both of you know what you have been working on, like the hard work you've already been putting in for years, for decades. Okay, there's so much work that you've put in and you've become good at what you do. Actually, you both could also be healers or healers of the land, if you will, but very, very connected to Mother Earth. And this is, again, where you have your main component, your main basis, your love for Mother Earth, your connection with her. This is like major mother energies, and I'm seeing the heart on top of this. And again, it doesn't have to be romantic, but I see like a strong pull with the two of you. It's beautiful. This is very, very beautiful. And congratulations, Scorpio, because this is quite something. Very cool. All right, Scorpio, we'll take it over to Patreon in terms of, I want to know the purpose of all of this. Like, why is this happening? Why are you two, why are your paths intersecting and crossing? And for what reason? And the higher view of all of this, and what else wants to unfold here. We'll give it like a free pass, what it wants to do, where it wants to take us. Okay, we're not holding it as tight. Okay, Scorpios, I hope this was helpful up until this point. The link to Patreon is down below where you'll find the rest of your reading. It's not as is in the description box at this moment. In terms of over on Patreon, I am not publishing 12 readings a month. It is just see it as for this very reading, and that's basically it, okay? I mean, you will unlock access to 800 posts over there, okay? So there's bunch of stuff for you to look at. It's just like that I'm saying, I am not posting all 12 signs currently in 1 month. I just go with the flow at the moment, okay? All right, I hope this was helpful. Thank you for spending your time with me, and I'll see you either over on Patreon or next time. Bye.